All right, Pedro. So Royal Obidos. I heard amazing things about this golf course, and unfortunately, I had to go home before the rest of our crew and trip was there, as I had to be back here for the Players Championship. So I haven't been there, but a lot of other people have. For those who haven't been there, whereabouts is Royal Obidos located?
Okay, Adam, it's a pity that you couldn't experience the course
Yes.
because it is a very, very nice course. Ballesteros design, one of his last designs. Some say it was the last, and the course opened in 2012. So now it's the mature age, so it is in really good shape. So we are in Obidos. Obidos is 1 hour away from Lisbon in a highway, so it's a quite an easy travel. And we are now in an area, the center of Portugal, where three more golf courses are here. So this has become in the last 4 or 5 years. Has become quite a good golf destination.
Yeah,
Um,
I totally agree about the golf destination, and we got to play some incredible golf while we were in Portugal. But you mentioned Seve Ballesteros, and obviously he's tragically no longer with us. But when people think Royal Obidos, they think Seve Ballesteros. How special is that to you? How much meaning is that to have someone who had such an incredible impact both on and off the golf course design this property and golf course?
well, it really it is really a name, in the golf universe. It's a name that either you entered the golf universe 1 year ago or 50 years ago. This is a name that is part of it, and everyone knows. And I think he, um, not only that, but also is course, the design of this course. It shows um, quite well how good he knew the game, because um, it's a course that I can make it quite difficult. And for example, I'll give you an example. We host the Challenge Tour event for 4 years now. We will host it 2 more years. And during that week, you will find a completely different course in terms of the difficulty and setup that you will find on our day by day with tourists and higher handicaps. So it's a course that you can play with it and make it adapt it to the user, to the player. You understand? So it's a long course, but fair. If you miss a shot, you are not out of the hole is not finished. So it's fair in that way. But then we can make it a bit more challenging or less challenging depending on the clients we have.
And I understand that some of the views throughout the golf course are pretty spectacular. How would you describe standing on some
Yeah,
of the tee blocks when you look at some of the views you see?
yeah, we are. Well, we are. This is my office. I am 250 meters from the sea, from the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah.
But then we have our front nine. 7 holes from our front nine are on the other side of the road. That gives you a view to the Obidos Lagoon, which is one of the biggest lagoons in Europe. And so you start playing the holes with the view of Obidos Lagoon and Foz do Arelho, a very small fisherman villas a bit further. And then when you reach the ninth hole, you come to the ocean part. So you have two completely different sightseeings during your 18 hole rounds. So it's good because the holes are different. The you every hole is different.
And I found that was a huge theme with a lot of the courses we played while we were there was variety. And that's just really cool overall. Now, what would you say is the peak time to come and play Royal Obidos? In other words, when is the best time for people watching this, listening to this, to think, hey, I want to go play golf at Royal Obidos? When's the best time, do you think?
Well, one thing we have good in Portugal is, in fact, we have lots of sunny days. We have an average of 310 days with sun during all year per year. So it's easy to find a good time to come. Of course, the months of November, December, January are usually the lowest in terms of players, because that's when we have our winter. That's when we have the days with rain. That's when it happens. The few days with rain, it's a little more cold. But then I would say the rest of the year, usually in Portugal, we have two peak seasons of golf tourism. The first one starts in March, goes until the end of May. Then we have the 3 months of summer, June, July, and August, which we don't have so many tourists. We have more domestic market, tournaments, corporate days. And then a second peak season returns. It goes from September to the 15th of November. But here, one very particular thing in this region is that in the other regions of Portugal, especially on the south, Algarve and even Lisbon, if you play in June, July, August, if you have a tee time at 12 o'clock, you will get some heat, after a couple of holes, because it can get really hot, 30, 35 degrees Celsius. But here in this region, the temperatures never go too high, so you can book easily tee time at 12 o'clock and you're not going to burn. So it's good in that way. So I would say between March and the end of October, it's perfect season to play. You will find for sure sun, good weather.
That sounds all pretty good to me, and definitely good to the listeners and viewers right now. Now, before we sign off here, as you mentioned, there's a lot of great golf happening in Portugal. The game of golf is growing in a big way in Portugal. What are you guys doing at Royal Obidos to make sure that you're continuing to set the trend of great golf courses in Portugal to continue and improve like the other golf courses are too?
Well, we unfortunately in Portugal, we do not have enough domestic players to fill all the golf courses that we have in Portugal. So we are quite dependent on tourism, but that's what it is, and we all know that, and we all live with it. But to attract tourism, you cannot work alone. So if Royal Orbit was not here, my neighbor Praia del Rei would have more difficulty bringing people. If they were not here, I would have more difficult. So that's why I started saying this is a golf destination, and we end up working a little bit all together to attract people to come here and try all the courses here. So and this Portugal has always been known more because of the Algarve, the south, because they have lots of golf courses, very good golf courses, very good weather. But this region here has grown the last 10 years, and it has become quite a good golf destination. So our challenge is to show to everyone that visits us that you don't need to go to the Algarve. You can also find very good golf courses and good weather here. So we work together.
That's very well said, my friend. Well, hey, if you're planning a trip to Portugal, Royal Obidos has to be on your list of courses to play. Yeah. Pedro, thanks for your time today.
Thank you. Thank you.